right before we started recording, Garth is like, you know, we had zero money, and Garth's like, Brad, go to Guitar Center right now and pick a snare drum.
No shit.
My eyes just lit up. I'm like, really? Fuck yeah, I'll go do that. And I just went to the guitar. I forget which Guitar Center I went. I think it was the one in West LA maybe. There used to be one there or something. Yeah, maybe. But yeah, I remember going in there and just hitting all the snare drums, and that one spoke to me. It was loud, super loud, and like was cutting through. It might have just been tuned right, you know, at the store. And I was like, this is great. I want to grab this. And yeah, and that's how that, and I used that for the entire
so
record.
it's one drum on the entire record.
Yeah.
And there's where you're really hearing the ring.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's crazy.
But yeah, for how hard.
Yeah, and you're laying into that drum.
Yeah.
And then two, we were talking about the rejection. Notice how there's very little hi-hat in there,
Right. Yeah.
and you're
Wow, that's impressive.
insane, huh? It's just such a game changer for me. Huh. And the mic itself is it's just a.
How is there that little a hi-hat?
Well, you want to explain?
Wait, is that the bottom?
That's the
mic?
top.
That's the top.
That is the snare top mic.
Right next to the hi-hat.
This thing, it definitely brings me back because I haven't used the snare drum since that recording.
Wow.
So it's interesting, like I've used the bell brass forever, playing it live, and so this thing has a special tone to it that's really actually pretty great. I missed it more than I even knew. It's pretty cool.
I was just going to say, is it coming back in the rotation?
I think I might have to
Unretire it?
see how much Ross wants to get rid of this for. I doubt he will. Yeah, I doubt he will.
If you take the top hoop off of this drum,
Right.
you can take the shell out. The lugs are only attached to the hoop and this,
Not to the shell itself.
not to the shell.
Okay.
So the concept was that the shell resonates more because there's no screws going through it.
There's nothing dampening it at all.
The mechanism is also attached to this bottom hoop.
Wow.
So if you take the top hoop off, this shell can come out, and you can interchange it with a wooden hoop if you want,
Yeah.
or a different size.
Okay.
And so they had a run with these. I believe they had a steel option, aluminum, and maple.
What year is this drum? Do you remember?
It's probably like mid-'80s, 1985 probably.
Good year for drums.
Yeah.
Good year for snare.
I'm almost tearing up taking it off. It's fucking crazy. This thing's
Ross
incredible.
just disappeared. I don't know
Right.
what happened.
What? I don't know. Huh? Yeah.
Exactly what I'm saying. We can
Oh,
just
really?
Say, yeah.
No shit. it was a room half the size of this, and super dead room. We put all the instruments in the room, had monitors, and then Brendan snaked, a chord from across the way, and then he had a big room for him and the board. They brought a board in, and we made the entire record like that.
No shit.
Yeah, it felt like a rehearsal, and man, I love that record. I just loved everything about how we made it too. It's really great.
Wow.
And that's the bell brass on there.
That's the bell brass.
It sounds
Yeah.
like it's a
And in
shotgun.
fact, I think you have
Yeah.
the bell brass that you used down there out there.
More than any snare drum I've ever played, this thing takes on the personality of the hit. I mean, all drums do, of course. But this drum seems to do it a little more, and I don't know why. We talked about copper being a reactive metal. Maybe there is copper in this bell brass as well. I don't know. But I just love this drum. This drum is like home for me. Yeah. And that's nothing on it, right? That's like,
That is total flat. No,
Fuck.
that is just the mic gain and phase.
the snare sounded great.
That's it.
That's great. We had met Brendan O'Brien, and I gotta credit Brendan O'Brien because I don't think I had ever even touched a bell brass until he called Ross up and said, make sure you bring the Terminator down. And that was it, man. I just hit it. I think Bulls on Parade was one of the first songs we recorded at Cole rehearsal. And I just hit it, and it was like instantly just loved it. It just stood out to me like way more than any drum.
I mean, this was what we used basically on the Nirvana record. We used this on
So it covered a lot of decades, and it's still going.
and, Metallica's Black Album. We used one of these on that. Offspring Smash was
There you
one
go.
of these.
Okay.
Paul Bostaff was using it on all of his, heavy metal stuff.
Yep. He
So
mentioned that
it covers a lot of ground. Don Henley used one of these a lot with the Eagles.
Seriously?
Yeah. So
Different tuning, or
Yeah,
you think?
the tuning. It's tuned more like that one. This one will go low and fat really nicely as
Oh,
well.
okay.
That's still tuned kind of medium high.
Medium, but it's still
But you can take it down too.
okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
So it covers a lot of ground in the pitch if you wanted to do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the most sought after snares out there right now.
Well, I think it made a lot of sense for a Black Sabbath record. When I hear Black Sabbath records, I don't know. It sounds like a Black Beauty of some sort to me, and I could be wrong about that, but I just think Black Beauty. And actually,
Because of the era of the drum, right?
yeah, and not even not even the deep one necessarily. Like even the the less deep, shallower ones. But yeah, Black Beauty, they just have a sound, a certain sound.
Man,
Wow.
this is rad. Thanks,
Yeah,
Brad.
this was awesome.
This is so, thank you so
I
much.
had a lot
for
of
coming
fun.
down.
It was cool. Sounded great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You as well.
Thanks, Daryl.
God.
These drums good.
Drum good. I
These
tune.
these drums
Big
good.
sound.
Big sound.
Put mic on. Shut up. Record.
I like to keep it simple.
This is a badass, actually all three of those.